Hi guys, welcome back to another video of Educate channel. So today we will be dealing with the allergy and anaphylaxis. If you haven't subscribed our channel yet, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell button for more updates. So moving to allergy. We are all familiar with this word allergy and we all know that this is something related to the immunological concern or antibodies or something related with that. So when an animal is exposed to an antigen, the defense mechanism of the body responds to it by eliciting an immune response to neutralize the effect of antigen. Whenever an antigen is coming to the body will try to eliminate the antigen by the immune response. That is actually the allergy. So in most animals, these responses are defensive and beneficial, but on occasion, this can be detrimental to the host. Like whenever hypersensitivity is said to exist, which is clinically recognizable as allergy. So when the hypersensitive reaction is sudden and clinically severe, it is called as anaphylaxis. The very severe condition of allergy will always lead to anaphylaxis. So severe anaphylaxis may result in anaphylactic shock, so which is very dangerous for the animal body. So there are four mechanisms for the induction of hypersensitivity response. They are classified as types 1 to 4 based on the immune mechanism that elicits the disease state. So the first one is type 1 hypersensitivity or immediate hypersensitivity. So the immediate hypersensitivity reaction, the antigen or the allergen reacts with circulating or cell-bound antibody to release biochemical mediators. These mediators will be actually playing the role behind the anaphylactic shock. So the difference in manifestations of acute immediate hypersensitivity reaction between species depends upon the tissues to which the antibody binds, the distribution of susceptible smooth muscles, and difference in the biochemical mediator. So next is type 2 hypersensitivity or autoimmune reaction. In autoimmune reactions, the body produces antibodies against proteins present in the body. So this is actually a very bad condition. Example, the spermatic granuloma or isoimmune hemolytic anemia or thrombolytic purpura, etc. Next is type 3 hypersensitivity reaction, always known as Arthur's type reaction or Arthur's phenomenon. Here, in Arthur's phenomenon, is the development of an inflammatory lesion or hemorrhage or necrosis or erythema-like condition. This occurs a few hours after the intradermal injection of an antigen to previously sensitized animal. So this happens in many cases. Next is the type 4 hypersensitivity reaction or the cell-mediated or delayed hypersensitivity reactions. Here example, the main is the tuberculin test. We are all familiar with the Stormont test or di-intradermal test or the tuberculin test. Whenever we are injecting the protein, it will be having delayed hypersensitivity. The body will be showing delayed hypersensitivity. Here, it is actually the cell-mediated immunity will be working against the protein antigen. So moving to the pathogenesis, in type 1 hypersensitivity, mainly immunoglobulin E bound mast cells and basophils degranulate on exposure to antigen and they will be degranulating many chemical mediators. Degranulation release biochemical mediators, vasoactive amines, mainly histamine, heparin, and serotonin released by the degranulated mast cells cause vasodilation and increased vascular permeability. So type 1 reactions can be localized allergic reactions or generalized anaphylaxis. Systemic anaphylaxis occurs when antigen is systemically distributed. It is generalized reaction mediated by mast cell and basophil granule releases. So this reaction is characterized by smooth muscle contraction in glands and gut, vasodilation, and pooling of blood in shock organs, that is brain, heart, and lungs. So moving to the clinical findings, sudden onset of distress, tachypnea, tachycardia will be there, edema of the head, limbs, and body. The swellings are usually asymmetrical, not painful on palpation, and peaks when the gentle pressure. Petechial hemorrhages are present in mucosal surface and edema is very common in the eyelids, base of the ear, and petechial hemorrhages are seen in the mucosal surfaces. So moving to the diagnosis, so history and sudden onset of clinical signs. Moving to the clinical pathology, there will not be any specific findings, but Moving to the treatment protocols, mainly corticosteroids will be used so that excess body immune reactions will be suppressed. That is mainly dexamethasone is used. Antihistamine. So whenever we are having an allergy reactions, histamine will be produced inside the body at a higher rate. So this histamine elicits a dual response and it increases the vasodilatory effect and also produce many devastating effects. So as to counteract the effects of histamine, we will be injecting antihistamines, that is chlorpheniramine maleate, mainly chlorine. Next is NSAIDs. So they are non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So whenever we are applying them, it will be leading to anti-inflammatory effect. That is, inflammation will be suppressed. That is mainly flunixin, meclofenamic acid, phenylbutazone, etc. Next is in anaphylaxis, we'll be using the sympathomimetic drugs such as adrenaline. Thank you.